Hello guys, and welcome back to Hiragana Mastery Lesson number 5, where today we'll be covering the last of the basic Hiragana characters, and next week we'll move on to some of the more advanced characters that we'll be covering in this course. So today is the last of the basic Hiragana. We've got a lot of the sort of exceptions or strange characters are in today's lesson. So we'll cover those. If you have any questions or queries, please feel free to contact us at speedyjapanese@gmail.com, or feel free to visit us on Facebook and we'll get those links down below shortly. Alright, today we'll be starting with the Y line, and you'll notice, unlike most of the other lines that have 5 characters, the Y line only has 3. So it has ya, you and yo. There is no yi and there's no ye. It's just ya, you and yo. Also, we'll be covering the R line. Now, the R line is a bit tricky because it sounds almost like a D. It's not ra, it's ra, ri, ru, re, and ro. And the way you make that sound is by putting the tongue right at the top of the front of your mouth, just behind your teeth. You'll try it with me. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. So, if you go to Japan and speak Japanese with the same way you'd speak English and go ra, ri, ru, re, ro, you will sound very unnatural with your Japanese, and people will pick up on it very quickly. So ra, ri, ru, re, ro. And then the last things we'll be covering is wa, o. So it looks like wo, but it's just o, and n. That sound n. So not n, it's n. Alright, let's look at how these are written. If I pull out my pen, make sure it's set up right. Okay, yeah. We go 1 stroke down, 2 stroke across, 3 stroke up there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And if you've got an imagination, it looks almost like a yak or a mountain goat with its head tilted back. So, yeah. Ya for yak, ya. Second we have a U. Now, I have no easy way to remember U other than the fact that it sort of looks like a fish, but it's unrelated sound, but I just remember it because the uniqueness reminds me of a sort of goldfish. So, U. We go 1 down and around, and then a second stroke down and through. 1, 2. So you lift your pen off the paper between that stroke and this stroke. Lastly, we have yo. So it's 1 down and then a second one across. And I remember yo because it looks very much like a yo-yo if you ever played with those when you were a kid. Yo for yo-yo. Down, flick, across. Alright, onto the R line. We have a ra. We go down and around, and a mark there. Down, around, mark there. The way I remember this, it looks a little bit like you'd imagine a cartoon bunny to look. You know, if you had 2 of them, it's starting to form that almost Bugs Bunny-like shape. So we go down, draw the rabbit's cheek, and across the top. Ra. 2 strokes. Alright, second we have a ri. Ri is just 1 stroke. Well, actually, it's probably 2, but you often see them joined like I have them there. Is how you'll most often see it expressed, but occasionally you will see someone sort of, particularly handwritten, join the characters like that. So either way is fairly acceptable. But 2 strokes, and I remember ri because it looks like a set of reeds in the river, like that you see in a pond or at the edge of a dam. Third we have a ru. I remember ru the same way I learnt it at school. It looks like a you could draw a ruby glittering in the tail here. Ru for ruby. See, getting tongue twisted there. Ru for ruby. So we go across, down, big loop, and a tail. Across, down, loop, and tail. And it's ru. Remember, tongue up behind those teeth at the back, the top of your mouth. Next we have re. Now, re, we do one stroke down, then the second stroke through, and bam. One stroke, two stroke, one stroke, two stroke. The way I remember this, and this might not help you if you're not Australian, but I picture this as a kangaroo resting on its tail. Re. Lastly we have ro. And ro is very similar to udu, except no tail. So that's how I remember it. I think ro. We've been robbed and the ruby's gone. Ro. So just one stroke, no little circle on the end is ro. Next up we have wa. So you'll draw this one a lot when you're writing sentences. For example, the Japanese word for I is watashi, and of course that has wa in it. Wa and re, very similar, just one deviation at the end. So one stroke down, two strokes and around instead of going the other way. So re is a kangaroo resting, wa is someone doing a crazy karate kick. Wa. Well, missed it there. Wa. Next we have o. Now this is a particle in the Japanese language. It marks objects in sentences, so you'll use this one an incredible lot of the time. And we draw it by going one stroke across, two, and then three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it looks almost like a shot putter in a circle, hopping up to throw the shot put. And I think, oh, that was a big throw. Oh. Lastly we have n. Now n I remember mainly because it looks very similar to the letter N. Come down like this. It's n. So say it with me, n. Ironically, Japanese people, when they think, will often make this sound, so desu ne, So you'll hear this one more than you'll actually write it, but it's quite a funny sound. One of the things I love about Japanese is all the funny sound words that they have. So that's it for Hiragana lesson number 5, where we've covered the basic Hiragana alphabet. We will be covering in future lessons some of the more advanced writing techniques that will cover some other characters that are generally less used in Japanese, but nevertheless very important. So tune in for our lesson next week, where we'll cover those and a number of other tips and tricks to help you improve your Japanese. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, just click the link down below. It doesn't cost you anything at all, but it does help us out. Thank you so very much. I hope you have a great day.